Okay, so first, I'm sympathetic because when you're skinny and you're trying to add size, it's a little bit of a mind f***. If you're a big dude and you're trying to add size and you add 5 pounds of fat, you're not going to notice it because you already had 200 pounds to build on. You're 100 pounds, all of a sudden you got 5 pounds of fat and you're like, well, shit, this isn't working at all.
So weighing 100 pounds in high school, what do you think skinny dudes are just missing? It's kind of mathematical. You know, you be in a caloric surplus, lift, and you're going to gain size. I think everyone at this point understands that, myself included. But what do you think people are missing when it comes to adding size? Is it tracking? Is it, lying to yourself? Like, what do you think people are actually missing? Yeah. What do you think people? Oh, yeah. Because even I've said, I eat as much as possibly can, and then I start tracking.
I see those dudes. They're like, I ate a whole pizza and this and that and the other thing, and I'm like, how many times did you do that this week and next week? And
okay, so first, I'm sympathetic because when you're skinny and you're trying to add size, it's a little bit of a mind fuck. If you're a big dude and you're trying to add size and you add 5 pounds of fat, you're not going to notice it because you already had 200 pounds to build on. You're 100 pounds, all of a sudden you got 5 pounds of fat and you're like, well, shit, this isn't working at all. Even if that's not true, right? You're adding size to your hamstrings, right? And you're adding fat to your waist. So it looks
hopefully
different. So it is a mind fuck in that regard. There's no real way around it. My solution was to get really, really fucking strong, right? While staying really lean. You have to add some muscle or you're not gonna have anything to build with. So I just went really, really slow at first, built up all that strength and then kind of exploded. So that helped me a little bit. But a lot of it is just gonna be embracing the fact that you're gonna be more uncomfortable than other people are.
And also the time aspect to it, man. Like I'm gonna go back to this again, but you were lifting for 15 years and you didn't put on all that size immediately. Like, yeah, you probably put on a good amount.
Really slow.
But it was slow.
Yep.
I just don't think a lot of guys are patient enough to do that consistently over time to gain that muscle.
Yep. Absolutely.
Kind of emotionally tied to the way they look or feel.
Yes.
And almost like it's like, do you not trust yourself to lose the fat after you're done bulking? Like,
and a lot of them don't.
No, they don't. But realistically, like, that's a pretty simple thing that everyone should be able to do. And it's kind of an emotional thing,
What you said there, though, that's what a big deal is this. Like, your focus was strength and powerlifting performance. When a guy is always paying attention to the way he looks, let's say he's focused on bodybuilding, and he's like, I got to gain muscle, and that's his focus, not performance. That can lead you to maybe starting to do something before you necessarily should. But since you're performance-based, you had these metrics of the squat, the bench, the deadlift, maybe OHP and other movements that you were performance-based and getting better at.
Yep.
You saw that progress over time. And yeah, of course, you were probably paying attention to your body, but it wasn't the single focus.
Yep.
Well, that kind of takes the emotional side out of it, right? How many times have we been there and you're looking at the check-in pics and you're like, it's not fucking working. And then we're like, but numbers say it's working.
Yep.
So don't think about that.
Yep.
Just got to stick to it.
Yeah.
I think it's a big reason why when you're starting out and lifting, just be pumped that you're making some sort of consistent effort.
100%.
We've talked about it all the time. You mentioned Andrei Milanichev, and Andrei also says, think less, just go. And, we all started out training the same way. We all did 3 sets of 10. We all fucked around on a bunch of different machines. We probably messed around in a high school weight room somewhere and just kind of mess around. And then eventually you start to take it more serious, or you're like, I'd like to get more out of this. So I think I'm going to read a magazine or read an article. And you're like, I think I need to eat more protein. And you start having more protein and you start to kind of slowly but surely integrate stuff. And I think now, at where the point that we're at now, it's easy to kind of tell people like, oh man, you got to get all in, you got to be this way. And we kind of forget, like in the beginning, we were all pussies too. Like it took a long time to be like really devoted to the game to a T, right? To a letter.
Yes.
Power Project family, how's it going? And listen up. We talk about meat and nutrition all the time on this podcast, from the carnivore diet, keto, low carb, IFYM. And the cool thing is that we've partnered with a great company, Piedmontese Beef. Yes, it's beef. And the great thing about Piedmontese Beef is this: no matter if you're someone who's dieting on low fats, high fats, carnivore, any diet, they have different types of cuts of steak that are going to fit your diet perfectly. From the flat iron that has, Andrew, what is the macros on that thing?
So that one has 46 grams of protein and only 4 grams of fat for the entire steak.
And if you want fattier cuts, they have ribeyes, center cuts. They have literally everything for no matter what diet you do. So you can't use the excuse of your diet and tell yourself that you can't eat red meat. So, Andrew, how can they get Piedmontese beef?
Yes, man. So that's at Piedmontese.com. That's PIEDMONTESE.com. At checkout, enter promo code POWER for 25% off your entire order. And if your order is $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Again, Piedmontese.com, promo code POWER. All links down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
What you got over there, Andrew?
No, I'm laughing at myself because, you know, you guys were talking about SARMs. I did SARMs. You're talking about not being patient. I've been impatient. And as I'm getting older now, I am starting to just understand that, like, okay, I've been lifting for, it's going to be 10 years now. I have added about 20 pounds, but I'm still like really hard on myself. And it's exactly what you said. It's like the mental side. I still identify as a skinny guy. But look who I'm around though too, you know, like you're, you know, the sum of the people you hang out with, and I hang out with these two guys more than anybody. So when I look at them, I'm just like, fuck, dude, I'm tiny. But if I hang out with somebody else, maybe it's not so much. But it's that mental side of things that's really fucking with me. So what you guys just brought up is just like very important. I hope a lot of people are paying attention to that.
Yeah.
So 2 things on that note. First of all, embrace the fact that the people you're around make you tiny, because that's what's going to push you to get better. But at the same time, have a little bit of boundary around that. So the tip that I like the most, quit fucking looking at yourself in the mirror all the time, right? Just pass the mirror, just don't look. Keep your analysis of your physique to your check-in pictures. And when you take the check-in pictures and you look at them, because you're going to fucking look at them, you're not just going to send them to your coach, turn the phone upside down so that you're not looking at yourself like you would in a mirror. And that'll help you look at it more objectively. You can actually look at what your physique looks like. You're not saying, oh, that's me, I look like shit.
What about weigh-ins?
Don't just pass by mirrors, any reflections.
Yes. Yeah. What about weigh-ins? Yeah.
What about
because like I'll jump on the scale like almost every day.
Quit jumping on the scale.
It's because I'm tracking stuff. You know?
No, see, I think that's important. You got to track day to day, because otherwise you won't be consistent. That's a skinny guy thing. I know that.
Yeah.
So the thing to remember though, you want those instead of trying to analyze my weight is down, try to think about reasons why it's down, because I think that's an important metric. So for me, it's fluid. I know if I'm pushing the fluid hard one day, my training's going to be better. I'm going to look better in the gym. My weight's going to be lighter that next morning, because I'm going to have peed out more of that during the night. And so that's okay, right? You're learning more about your body, but you're not as attached to the fact that the number on the scale means progress. The number on the scale doesn't mean progress. I weigh exactly the same as I did. When were those check-in pictures?
Which ones?
We were looking last night. We were looking at 2 different check-in pictures. This was a year ago. Oh, so we visited Denver, and I trained with Brett Wilkin, who's going to win the Arnold Classic this year. And
He's just gonna win.
so after we took check-in pictures there, and I remember I was really, really happy with them. I was like, man, I look a lot better than I thought I did. I actually did make progress. So then this morning yesterday, I go back and look at my last check-in pictures and compare them. I'm like, wow, I didn't think I was focused on bodybuilding that hard, but I still made progress. Even though my body weight's the same, I'm using half the drugs that I was then. I'm more proportional than I was then, and I have a better idea of how I can target my weaknesses. So it's just very, very slow. It's that 2-year thing versus the 12-week thing.
Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.